Hi, my name is Chris Bournet, and I'm a writer and a filmmaker. In this video, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and how I got interested in writing and filmmaking. I was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, and I wanted to be a writer ever since I can remember, ever since I was a little kid. And I really credit my mom, Shelley, with instilling in me a love of writing and creativity. My mom is a writer herself and always wrote short stories and poems, and she even wrote a novel called To a Wild Rose. Like a lot of Generation X kids, I grew up on movies and television, and I spent a lot of time over my grandparents as a kid, my maternal grandparents, and they were kind of ahead of their time. In the early 1980s, it may have even been the late 70s, they got cable television, and I would spend countless hours watching movies on HBO and Showtime and the Movie Channel. And the movies that really spoke to me the most were movies like La Bamba and Flashdance and Purple Rain, about young people of color pursuing dreams in the arts. I think Purple Rain, in addition to The Wizard of Oz, is probably one of my favorite movies of all time and stars my favorite musical artist of all time, Prince. I was always inspired by multifaceted, artistic, creative people like Prince and like Quincy Jones and Debbie Allen and Maya Angelou and Spike Lee. People who would jump from medium to medium and genre to genre. And from the time I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a writer and a filmmaker because I loved the movies so much. And I never understood why you had to limit yourself to just one genre. For example, Maya Angelou is famous for her poetry and her memoirs like I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, but she also got into movie directing later in life. I remember seeing the movie Down in the Delta and was inspired by that and how a writer could segue into filmmaking. So inspired by these multi-dimensional, multifaceted artists, I have several projects in several different mediums. One of the biggest projects that has gotten a lot of attention is the documentary Lady Wrestler, the amazing untold story of African American women in the ring. I am also going to be re-releasing my novel, The Chloe Chronicles, and filming a new movie, a fictional movie called Things Are Tough All Over, about an African American family struggling to keep their heads above water during the Great Recession of 2008. So I hope you'll join me on this journey to tell stories in different formats, and I hope you'll find these stories inspiring.